Hello and welcome to a new episode of Aslan Live. Before we start with the Cagliari game and the transfer rumors and everything, I just want to. It was some forest workers who lost their lives in the forest fire in Eskişehir. Our condolence, as Galatasaray says here, to their grieving families and our nation. May they rest in peace. So it's some sad news, but yeah. We played. Let's go into the game then. We won 3-1, where it was goals from Salai, Barış Alper, and Arda Ünyay, our new golden boy. Jakobs had 2 assists. The first 2 assists to Salai and Barış, while Salai had 1 assist on free kick to Arda Ünyay. So we finished our Austria camp strongly and are returning to Istanbul. I think they're returning right now, so it's a long... I never, in my lifetime, I can't remember that we played so well in friendlies, so I'm not sure if that's a good sign or if it's a bad sign. But yeah, our squad looks so impressive, and we're still missing players like Icardi, Sané, Osimhen, and the players who are playing right now aren't in their best form, as we saw today. For example, Davinson Sanchez, he still needs time, and other players, but it's still his first game, so it's not just him. Abdulkarim, for example, also, but it takes time to come in form. But it looked like we played something like this. Let me see. It looked like we played something like this today, where he tried Barış as a striker, as Okan said after the game, that he wanted to try Barış as a striker because it's a bit unsure, Osimhen. I really hope he's coming. It sounds like he's coming. That he needs to come in form because it's not long time until the league starts, for example. And Icardi, he's not playing games yet. He needs to be really careful with his knees. So we see that Barış Alper is a fighter in that sense. He's fighting for every ball. He's so important. I know that he got some... he's not the best with the ball, with his passing skills, but his runs behind the defense, he really destroys the defense. He's so important. And let's say if we get Ederson, for example, he's who we are linked to right now, and it seems like we are not... I can talk about that later when we talk about the transfers. Let's talk about the game first. So Barış is he's so important. I really wish that we don't sell him, but yeah, we just need to wait and see. I think Jakobs played well, Eren played well. What was a bit interesting with Jakobs, he played left winger, but one thing I noticed was that he went much inside also and got the ball in the half space there in the final third and did okay, but he's so physical, Jakobs, that when he's higher on the pitch, for example on the second goal, he can win the ball. I think he's so good in that sense also, that he's a good first defender, especially in the high press. He's so physical, he's so strong, he's so fast. So he can be an alternative on the winger also, Jakobs, and he's so fast. We saw Eren and Jakobs when they ran like 60 meters. They were just they just have incredible physique, especially Jakobs. Erenas also has a good physique, but he got other strength also. But yeah, I saw like a Reddit post where they said like, should we keep Kern or should we keep Jakobs? Kern also had a really good camp, I think, a really good preseason. I think just of the both of the two players, let me see. Is this a bit better, Ensaro? I don't know. I'm still new, so I will try to like fix these black things, and yeah, it's just not so easy in the beginning, but I will try to learn it. So Amasal, thanks for the tips. I really appreciate it. But yeah, if we should keep Jakobs or Kern, for example, Jakobs in overall, I think. Thank you so much, Ensaro. I really appreciate it. Is it better now? Do you think it's a bit better when I made it a bit bigger, or? Thank you so much, by the way. But Jakobs and Kern, I think like, yes, Jakobs is a better player overall, but again, this transfer window is so dynamic. For example, let's say if we thank you, Ensaro. I appreciate it. I need every tips, so thank you so much. But for example, the transfer window is so dynamic. So if you're getting a bid for example, 15 or 20 millions for Jakobs, and with this injury history, we probably should sell him because we need money also. Okan Hoxha is underscoring it in every interview that we need to sell to probably get more players. So it can suddenly happen that he's getting sold, but in overall, I'm really happy with Jakobs. Unfortunately, he's really injury prone, and from the last season when we really needed him, he couldn't show up because of his body. Unfortunately, it's not his fault. I know that, but can we trust him if, let's say, Eden gets an injury for a month or two? Can Jakobs play Champions League, the league with so intense that we are playing? Galatasaray, our team are playing so intense every game. If we are playing against Rizespor at home or we are playing against Real Madrid away, we are going man. We are playing so intense. And it's, of course, that is tiring your body a lot. So it's, if he can, I don't know if Jakobs can survive that with his body, but yeah, he's a really good player, Jakobs. I can't say anything else, but I'm not sure if I can trust him. What about Ahmed Kutucu and Saro? If you are here, what do you think about the game? Did you watch the game today? I think Lemina and Berkan played good. Lemina, of course, needs time. I think he's a player like, for example, Sanchez, Abdul Karim, who needs a bit time. Torreira also, they played many games in the last part of the season, so they need rest. They don't need to be in their best form right now. So I'm not so scared about that. But Lemina he's a good player. He tried some difficult passes, I think. But him and both Berkan, I think they were a bit too direct in the first half. In the first 20 minutes, I think we played a bit too direct. But that's also because we have a player like Baris Alper, and we saw that from last season too, that we maybe a bit too often try to play in behind the defense when he's running there, and especially when they play striker. So yeah, and sorry, it was a good game again for us. So I'm just talking about the players who how we played. Yeah, I'm also happy that we are playing better in friendlies right now than we did compared to last year's. I can't remember we had the friendlies like this, but I'm a bit, people are saying, some people are saying like, if you have good friendlies, you probably have a bad start on the season. It's just like a myth, or but I think it just show how good our squad are, to be honest. So because we are like leading 3-1, and then players like Gabriel Sara, Abdul Kerim, Torreira is coming in, so the depth in our squad. And we're meeting Cagliari. It's a okay Serie A team. I think they got like a bit under middle last year, and it's a Serie A team. So I remember the other friendlies we played in recent years. It's typical that we had lost like 5-2 or 6-2 or something like that. But now we just, one thing is the score, but I think we're just been so dominate in every game. So yeah, Berkan also play good. He's been good in the friendlies. He can be Berkan can be a good rotation player, I think. At least it's my opinion. I'm not sure if you're agreeing with that, but if Berkan is a rotation player on the central midfield, he can be good. But if you are playing him as a left back, as a center back, everywhere where he's not comfortable, because Berkan is not he's not a fast player at all, and he's struggling a lot as a center back and also as a left back, especially when he needs to defend. With the ball is okay in the defense, but when he needs to, because when we defend, we're staying high, we are pressuring man, and that doesn't suit him at all. Yeah, he's a bit too static, but yeah, but also maybe in the derbies Europe he would be too weak. I get what you mean, Ensaro, but do you remember the Kadıköy derby where we won, where Icardi scored with his left foot, was it 3-1 or 3-0, I think it was, where Berkan played in both derbies that season. I'm not trying to say like Berkan is a fantastic player, for example, but he showed that he could play in those games, at least as a central midfielder. If he has good players around him, I think he can be good in the Super League, but I'm not sure in the Champions League, of course, or in the Europe. So, but Berkan is a player he needs confidence, and he can lose it fast. And again, if he's being switched as a left back, as a center back, he will lose that confidence for sure, I think. But it's rumors about him going to Espanyol. I'm not sure how true that is, but it's up to him too, I think, if he wants to stay or not, if he wants to play or not. But of course, it's up to Galatasaray first. But he's I think he could be a good rotation player, but I'm not sure, because Berkan is also a moody player. He shows when they are like not in a good mood, or what can I say? Like, I remember I'm not sure how true that is, but in the fact that when you see them on the bus, we saw a lot of videos. You're seeing him with the caps. Maybe it's just how he's preparing for the games, but his caps were just down. He didn't talk much, but yeah, I I personally think Berkan is a OK player. Yeah, the loan has helped him a lot physically and technically, and I will come back to that about loans because I want to talk a bit about Yusuf Demir also. But before I do that, I just want to talk about this first half, uh, where Ahmed Kuducu and Frankowski also played. I think that right side, I think we all saw that. Ahmed Kuducu is a immediately. He wants to do his best. He's a good Galatasaray. He tries his best, but unfortunately, um, Ahmed Kuducu is, from what I've seen, is not good enough. I think he's, as I say, he's a good Galatasaray. He's he tries his best, but his passing skills, when he tried to pass one ball to this, I think I'm not sure which center back he tried to pass it to, but he went on 90%. That ball would have been a counter attack, but he got lucky and it got through one's leg. He's in the build up. He's not fast. He's not strong. He's not good technical. I remember Ahmed Kutucu when he came to us last season, and I remember people like when I watched on YouTube channels, the journalists who talked about Galatasaray, for example, or reporters, that Ahmed Kutucu, yeah, he's a bit nervous right now and things like that. That's why his touches is like that. But we have seen it now. For how long can he be nervous? And how it just some. If you're gonna be at Galatasaray level, you can't be. Sorry, but that's one skill also that you can. We are all human, but you can't be nervous in those situations. Look at Arda Ünyay now, for example. Okay, it's not some league games, but just show how much responsibility he's taking. So Ahmed Kutucu, and he's played right winger, so that's a bit harsh on him because I think he's a striker, Ahmed Kutucu. But unfortunately, I don't think he's good enough, and he's a Gurbetçi, so he is a foreigner in the Champions League. So I don't think he should stay, to be honest. Another is Frankowski. I don't know what happened to him, but he's just struggling a lot with us. He is, for example, when he tries to stand high, man, he gets turned away too easy. He's not something special with the ball. He's not physical. And I don't like this when he tries to play Frankowski plays in the middle and he tried to come tight into the player who he's passing to get like 1-2, and then he's dragging a player with him, and he does that all the time. So it's making it so difficult for the central midfielders also. I don't know, man. Frankowski is really a player I am so disappointed with. I know it's to be a fullback in Okan Hoja's system. It's not easy. But that we're not seeing any of his strengths, Frankowski's, is just so weird. He's not in the attack. He's not like breaking through lines with his passes. And he's not a young player either. I think he's turning 29 or 30 years. I think some of that age range. So how much did we bought him for? Was it 7 plus 1 million euros? It's just incredible. So yeah, let me see inside. Yeah, of course. Berkan also need to improve on some He's not the fastest. He's not the best with the ball either. So I'm a bit, yeah, I'm not sure about the Champions League standard, to be honest. But again, in the league, I think he can be okay. But as you say, he needs to be faster with his thinking and dribbling. Yeah, I agree with that. So and Salah played good, I think. Salah is Salah. You always know what you get from him. He's working hard. He's okay with the ball, and he can play in so many positions and still be good. He was good right back last season, even though I still think we can't trust him in an entire season and in the Champions League as a right back. But he's a solid player, I think, Salah. So and Khan, I'm not sure about him either, to be honest. I'm not trying to be too pessimistic, but or too negative. But as a center back, I never liked him when I saw him in our team, to be honest. So thank you so much, Ensaro. Trossau, Kending Ibach. Thank you so much. So Khan is also a player who is, I don't think he's the best at center back when he needs to defend, when he needs to stand man, when he needs to um, in those duels. He's not the best on the header, unfortunately, to win those headers when he's defending. I remember from, I think it was against Bodrumspor away when Khan played as a center back, and we struggled so much because I think Bodrum won almost every headers, and Khan is a bit strange. I think he should play as a center midfielder, be like a backup, be like a rotation for Lemina, I think. And again, with if in like a 4-3-3 where he can play as a defensive midfielder, I think Khan can be okay. Khan is a player I really admire. I'm sounding too negative. Khan is a fantastic player with the ball. He's an extremely smart player. But his speed he is not fast at all, and he's not, I don't know, as a center back, or not at least as a right back. I think he should play as a center midfielder in a tree system where he is the defensive midfielder with two central midfielders around him, or as a three in the back. He can play okay. He played against Tottenham and did a good job as a three when he played with two other center backs. So Khan is a really important player. I'm not trying to say anything else, but I think he played good today, to be honest. This player is because in the second half, the first half was good. The second half, I think this golden boy, Arda Ünyay, did really well. I'm just so impressed. I don't want to hype him too much up because that's a bit dangerous, I think. But Arda Ünyay is he looks like a special talent. And as I said, like in the last game against where we played against Admira. Let me see, you can put the score and the goals left, but let me see if I manage to do that. Yeah, I'm a bit. I will try that in the next. Thank you, Ensaro. I will try to do that in the next episode to put the score line there, score and the goals. so it would not be a space behind there, or I would try to cover the black thing with something else. But thank you again. I really appreciate it. It's if it's some other tips, how I'm talking and everything, just throw it out. I will take every tips. I mean it. So thank you so much for the tips. I really appreciate it because it's so important for me to get feedbacks. But Arda Ünyay is a. I'm not sure if it's been a talent like him that's since Ozan Kabak, to be honest. And you can see, like, in the Admira game, in the last game we played, Arda Ünyay scored there also. And I think he had a fault in the 2-1 goal. That's my opinion. He was a bit too hot in his head. But that can happen, and that's totally okay because as long as you see I think it's easily to see their potential because, and I don't want to judge too quick either. Like, yeah, he got the talent, but he doesn't got the talent. But for example, we remember Ozan Kabak when he played. He made some penalties, but overall, you saw that he had a fantastic talent. He was so strong, physical, uh, good in the one versus ones. And the same thing you can say about, for example, Sacha Boey in our first season when we played against Barcelona at Camp Nou. You saw that Sacha Boey had something. For example, he was good in the one versus one. Some players you can see it with, and that's the thing we can see with Arda Ünyay. He's so, again, I'm repeating myself from the last videos, but he's so quick. His agility is so impressive. His body is like a winger hybrid center back, hybrid right back. Again, I'm gonna hype him too much now, but he's just so exciting to watch, and he will keep doing some mistakes. Today, I don't think he did almost any mistakes, to be honest. But he will do them. But still, he needs to get playing time. He needs to get playing time. And for example, what made me happy was, for example, it was two situations where he let the Cagliari player. It was two situations where he let them run in offside. So he got that tactical awareness also, Arda Ünyay. He's not just physical strong. He also seems to be good in the positional play. So and as Okan Hoxha has said, he has said that talents, yes, they need to be so good that they can just. He believes that if you're good enough, you're gonna take the space. You're gonna take the. You're gonna take the space there. And that sounds a bit harsh to young players. I know that they need time, they need to development, they need securities. But in a big team like Galatasaray, Real Madrid, PSG, Manchester City, you can't just wait and wait and wait. You need to win every game. Of course, a club like Dortmund or a club like Salzburg, yes, you can wait and develop them and they can fail and you can come at fourth place or sixth place. But in a team like Galatasaray, Real Madrid, you can't do that. It's just not gonna happen it's not gonna be good for anyone. So special talents, they will take that place because they are good enough. For example, Arda Ünyay. It's just showing that he's got so much talent. And for example, players talked about because now many reporters are getting questions about Arda Ünyay. How is he? He's a good player. He's a good talent. because our players had many of our players had interviews on the camp. So they, of course, want to ask about Arda Ünyay, who is a really, really hot player right now. And so you see that the players also says that he's been incredible on the trainings from day one. He came injured, as Okan said in the interview after the game, but that they saw from day one that he got a really big potential. He's really good at the trainings. And one thing that Davinson Sanchez said, what you really can see on the pitch is that, let me see, not just to play well, but to make a difference by playing well. And you see that with Arda Ünyay, he really wants to take responsibility. He's not afraid. One player you can compare to, for example, is, let's say, Kazımcan, who I think does look a bit afraid when he's playing. He don't want to take the responsibility, while Arda Ünyay is just from the time he just put his feet on the field, he just wants to take responsibility. He just wants to you're putting on a lion there, and he just so wild. He just wants to show everyone that what he's made of. And that's a rare ability, especially for an 18-year-old player. It's incredible. So, because Arda is, he's showing that. And then we have players like, for example, Yusuf Demir, who came on in the second half. I think Yusuf Demir I think it's pretty obvious that Yusuf Demir needs to get loaned out, because his decision with the ball is not strong enough. He lacks the. You see, it's a bit typical when you don't play too much. You're struggling with the decision making, as you see that Yusuf Demir is doing right now. Because you see Yusuf Demir he's exceptional with the ball. He's exceptional with his skills. He got a really good technique, but his decision making is so on and off on Yusuf Demir. And to get that better, you need to play more. You need to play 30 games a season. And you can't play 5 minutes that season, or let's say 67 minutes in a season. He needs to go to a place where he can play for 30 games, 90 minutes every game, where he gets in those situations all the time. That he gets where he needs to play the ball, where he learns, okay, I shouldn't do that. I should have waited there. On the highest level he can. And Yusuf Demir is 22, I think now, 22 years old. So, I think still Yusuf Demir is a really exciting talent, but he needs to get playing time to get better in those situations. So, let me see here. Okay. Again, it was a good victory, and they are turning back now to Istanbul, as I said, and tomorrow they are training again. Okan Hoca said that, and Leroy Sané is coming on the training tomorrow. as I understood. So it's gonna be interesting to see Leroy Sané also. But other things is that we came out from Bankalar. We are now free from the banks, thankfully. And what does that mean? That means that we don't pay interests to the banks. That is really, really high. I think I read something like that we paid like 40 million euros per season, if I'm not totally wrong. But another thing also is the players you sell, they are getting a huge percentage of that. Not only that, but also the jerseys you're selling, the merchandise, everything, they got their percentage of that. So that now I think you can keep everything to yourself. It's gonna be a huge, just gonna be incredible for the team. It's gonna be incredible for the economy. That the banks doesn't get their percentages, because I think it was like something 50% of everything. So if you sold Sacha Boey for 30 million euros, or 35, let's say 30, and they are getting 50 million euros of that, it's just insane. So to get out of that, while you're getting players like Osimhen, Leroy Sané, it's just insane work by the board, I think. Yes, we waited for so long. We got promised to get out of the Bankalar for so long. But now we're finally there. And to do that while we are getting those types of players, it's just incredible. And one man I think we need to thank at least is dearly Mustafa Cengiz. May he rest in peace. He did an extremely job in our economic freedom. I think we still have debt, but to get out of the Bankalar, he switched the loans, I think, from euros to Turk lira. Before it collapsed, he got back Gloria. Mustafa Cengiz is a president I really, really admired. So thank you for that, Mustafa Cengiz. Sign Mustafa Cengiz. May you rest in peace. And we also got the capital increase we talked about earlier, where we are now getting the capital increase. Let me just see here, because I put in some numbers here. Yeah. So we got 8.5 billion lira, who is around 230 million euros in capital increase. From what I could understand, it was a huge success, because 98.8% was bought by the investors, and the club only had to buy the remaining 1.2%. And that's huge, because I think Besiktas did the same. They tried to do the same. They planned to raise, I think, 4.8 billion Turkish lira. But they only got, I think, they got like 40 million euros in real cash. And I think they needed to buy 40% of their shares. Besiktas, we had to buy back our 1.2%. So again, we raised 5 times more and bought back so little less than them, and still they are like, how do they get this and that player? We can't compare us to, for example, Besiktas, because our money is just so much bigger than theirs. It's nothing to compare about, I think, to be honest. And that's not trying to be cocky or something, but and still they are using much money also. So the capital increase was a huge success. And I think the rumors now are that we are at that around our Harjama limits are around 200 million euros now. Again, I said it before, 200 million euros is not the buy, it's not the transfer budget. 200 million euros is for the whole season, for the salaries of the all of the players, for the transfers, for the staff salaries, for everything. So, but to get it to 200 million euros, it's pretty big. So that's how we probably have money for players like Osimhen and the other players we are linked to. So we also made a payment of 24 million euros for past transfer installments and debts. That's huge. That probably came from the capital increase money. So it's just yesterday was a day for us that was really nice. I think, you know, the capital increase, the Bankalar Birliği come out from that. So that was huge. Something else Okan Hoxha said was that Icardi is now taking over as a captain, and he is now our first captain, Mauro Icardi. So Mauro Icardi is a leader, without a doubt. He's a big leader. He's been captain for Inter. As long as Icardi can focus on his football, it's gonna be so much easier for him. It's gonna be so much easier for Icardi, because throughout his whole career, Icardi has not been, unfortunately, not been focusing as he should on his career. I think because he could have got a much bigger career, but I'm not sure how, if he would end as at our club. But as you saw from the Admira game, he told the players in the after the first half to give the jerseys to the children who was in the stands. Mauro Icardi is just a huge leader. I think he's so respected in the dressing room. You saw how Osimhen respected him. So Icardi is a natural captain, I think, for our team. And before we stop to talk about Icardi, he showed some Instagram posts where he made a bit fool out of the haters. The picture on the left and the picture on the right, the reality. I think he still needs to get down some kilos. I think Ringe, our doctor, or some in the physical team said something like he need to get down some kilos, but that's totally normal when he's been injured for so long. But this is Icardi. He needs to have. I think Icardi is the type of player you can't make him too fit either. He needs to have a good social life. I know that sounds a bit strange, but you won't see a Icardi who's like extremely fit, like for example Barış Alper, I'm not sure even sure if Barış Alper now Mauro Icardi would have played well if he had been, so muscular, so thin. I think he just Mauro Icardi just needs to be himself, but hopefully he can focus on the football. That's the most important thing. Talking about Barış, he had a celebration, Mertens celebration. They are probably really good friends. Where he dedicated his celebration to Mertens with his celebration. Uh, just lovely to see. And I think it's for Mertens who retired as a football player, I think that was like showing him respect, I think. So, or saying goodbye to him on the team. But another player we have been linked to is Enzo Millot. And I watched I think we all watched YouTube from him, from Enzo Millot. And I think I haven't seen him in a full game. I'm not gonna lie or something. But he is a player we have been linked to before also. We was linked to him in the winter window. And I think Enzo Millot is a 8/10 player. He can play as a 8 and also as a 10. He's a technical player. I read like an analyze from him in where you see below me. And his strengths are he's good in the tight spaces, he's good to play through the lines, he's good to break the lines with his passes, but he's also good in the half space, he's good in the tight spaces, he's good on the pressure, he's good. He sounds for me a little bit about Mertens. I haven't seen him. If you watch that analyze, I got the link there. If you want the link, it's here. But there's the link. You can just search up Enzo Millot analyze, and you can see some pictures like where they analyze how he's positioning, where he passes the ball. It's a bit. This is from 2024 that analyze, but there it shows that he's good to play through lines. He's good in the tight spaces, and it sounds like a player Okan Buruk would love to have, I think, and he has showed interest for him for a long time now. And his buyout clause, I think it's around 18 to 20 million euros. So I'm not sure how we're gonna have money for that, and we still need a goalkeeper, and we are linked with the center backs, and but he seems like a really exciting player. So he can play right winger, he's left-footed, he can play center midfielder, he can play attacking midfielder. He had some, if you've seen his stats, I'm gonna show that. Let me see. Here you see his Champions League stats for Enzo Millot. Let's see here. Yeah, these are Enzo Millot's Champions League stats for Stuttgart, where he played 8 games, had 2 assists, not 3 assists and 2 goals. Again, I have not watched Enzo Millot in the. I watched again some of his YouTube stats, but I've not like watched him in like only him. So you see that he's in the Champions League. He got some good stats. He played as an attacking midfielder and as a right winger. He played 3 games as a right winger and 5 as an attacking midfielder. And he scored 2 and had 3 assists. His stats in the league aren't that. I think he got 11. Let me see, 11 goals and assists total in the Bundesliga. Like this. So 29 games, 6 goals, 5 assists in the Bundesliga. But I saw that he has played a lot as central midfielder also. So maybe he played more offensive in the Champions League. And in the Bundesliga, Stuttgart ended on the 9th place, on the middle of the table. It's 18 teams there, and they were 9th place, so they came just on the middle of the table. So they were not that dominant either, not in the Champions League either. But with our playing style and our dominate in the games, and I trust Okan Hoxha. When he wants a player so bad, he wanted John Arias so bad, who played fantastic in the FIFA Club World Cup. He wanted Richard Rios bad, who ended up in Benfica. He wanted for 30 million euros, I think. He wanted it just the players he really, really wants. Of course, he missed with a lot of players also, but for example, Doué, who is now linked to AC Milan. So I think Enzo Millot is a really, again, he's good in the tight spaces. We need a creative player. And he's good in the pressing. He's 175, so he's not the biggest player, but he's left-footed, so I think from what I read, he reminded me a bit about Mertens with his strengths. So we just have to wait and see with him. But and I don't know where the money will come from if we're getting him. I'm not sure how much we can spend either, but we will just see. Maybe the board will get with some ideas. I don't know. But Chalaba just was in an interview or podcast, I don't know, or radio, where he said that Liverpool called him on the last day, and Osimhen said, I have already promised Galatasaray. So you can have all the money in the world, but it's not for sure that you will get him. So to get a player on the standards of Osimhen, it's not just that we got the money. We got a player who really, really, really wants to play for us. If I'm throwing out a name, if Haaland would have played for Fenerbahce on all his heart, they would probably find a way to sign him. I think if the price would be around 70 to 100 million euros. So it just shows again how big transfer Osimhen is. He said no to Liverpool. He said no to getting over 90 million euros more in another contract length total. I think if he didn't want to go to United or Juventus, he just wanted us, and that's so precious. It's just showing how big we are right now as a team. And we should not take that for granted, how big we have become, because we don't need to go far back to remember the Chikeldaos, Morotans. Not that they were incredible bad, but we were in a really bad situation. And I can't in my lifetime, I can't remember that we have been this big. I don't think Galatasaray have been this big before. So thanks to, I think, Erden Timur, who started all of this with Icardi and with dreaming and with the mindset that if you're getting bigger, you will be bigger, you will get more revenue, you will sell more jerseys. Yes, it's a bit risky behind it, but in total, you will just be bigger and bigger if the team is getting bigger. It sounds a bit too easy to say, but that's the truth. And another we should thank for the Osimhen transfer is Okan Hoxha, because we remember last year how he didn't say no. We got Batshuayi and Icardi. We don't need another striker. He said straight away, okay, let's take Osimhen. If the chance is there, let's get him on loan. And that's one of the best things about Okan Hoxha, I think. He's just so good to be, what can I say? He's so good to just transform things. Like, okay, if that's happening, we need to just do this or that. And he's not, I don't think he's stubborn on that sense to just stay where he needs to be. Like, we got this team. So, and the players really love him. For example, when Icardi lifted him up under celebrations, or like Lucas Torreira is saying, all the players are ready to fight to the death for him. For Okan Buruk, it's just incredible how the players, how they are bonded with Okan Hoxha, and how and that they are still disciplined, and that they're still really fighting for the team. It's just, and I think of course the fans also need to be thanked also. Our fans is just incredible to just make this, don't want to say agenda, but like they're making this huge environment for the players to develop, to have good times. For example, Davinson Sanchez said this in the interview he was with the reporter. Like, one thing he really loved was the utslu, when we are doing like bir ikke uts. That is not just about the players who score the goals. It's about maybe a player who needs confidence. Maybe it's a player who played bad that match, and the fans just cheering him up with the utslu, and the players around are celebrating. That's made from our fans. So our fans are just incredible. We saw it on the Austria camp, also on the stadiums, just how incredible the fans are. It just, and everywhere where the players are going, it's always Galatasaray fans there. So we are a huge team. Again, I talked a bit about Hakan Calhanoglu. I just want to quick talk about him again. He was really back and forth, like, I want to sign with Galatasaray. No, I want to sign with Fenerbahce right now. Yeah, he talked with Ali Koç, and He wants to go to Fenerbahce right now. I think all of that, but then his agent came out and said no, he don't want to. Yeah, he's got some telephone calls, but nothing concrete or something in those lines. And I think he wanted to play for Fenerbahce. I think he wanted to turn back to Turkey, but the way this is being dealt with, I think it's been just horrendous for himself. I don't think I want to see him in Galatasaray, to be honest. I don't want to be too emotional. If the club sees him as valuable one time in the future, okay, of course, we're gonna support him. But in overall, what he has done, I think he has destroyed for himself in many senses. And now, he tries to. I think he tries to save his skin. For example, our former player Umit Karan, who knows him, said in an TV, uh, like on TV, that he talked with Hakan Calhanoglu. He knows his dad, and that Hakan said that his was born as a Galatasaray fan and would die as a Galatasaray fan. Um, and I just think this is all just a setup game. I don't know. Anyway, it's just so strange, and I'm just glad that we didn't go for him because Hakan is not a bad player. I'm not trying to say like he is he's oh, it's so good that we didn't get him, or I would have supported him if I got him at least before all of this dramatic things. But again, I'm saying it again. I would much rather have Gabriel Sara than Hakan Calhanoglu. I don't know if he would suit in our playing style. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, let's just end this. Hakan said he's in Italy now and happy at Inter, and I think I want to renew the contract or something like that. Um, let him do whatever he wants. Because I know many people are really um, divided on Arda Turan. He was in an interview where he said that nobody has rejected the offers I rejected. Everyone says Fener wanted me, but no, Fenerbahce wanted me for historic sums, and I rejected them even when I didn't have a single penny in my pocket. I'm not sure if that's true. Out of my love for Galatasaray and my respect for Fenerbahce, that I think is true, because he got some huge offers from Fenerbahce, Arda Turan. But I know people are divided by Arda Turan. For me, Arda Turan, I was he was my idol when I was small. I remember the Champions League qualification games where he had this like tricks where he fake shotted and scored. That's one of my like biggest and first memories of a player like Arda Turan, because I couldn't see the league games when I was little because of the league TV or something like that. We didn't have those channels, but we could see like the European qualification games and European games. And I just remember this qualification game Arda Turan played, and he just came up. And for me, from that day, he just became my idol. And I know he's done unfortunately, some bad choices in his life, but I can't stop to not respect him. That's my opinion, and I respect everybody's opinion. So, but for me, he's an idol. He was an idol, at least. Another quick thing is about Tete. Galatasaray announced that an agreement has been reached with Shakhtar Donetsk in the Tete case. As a result of the agreement, the amount Galatasaray will pay has been limited to 1 million euros. So I think we sold it for 7 million euros to Panathinaikos, and then it's -1, which is 6 million euros. We got profit from him. From what I understood, I have not like got deep in that case, but it seems like fans were pretty happy that it was not their was scared that it would be much higher. So and I think Erden Timur said something. Cyan Erden Timur said something like that that the team no that the player will pay for it if this things will happen, that we get a fine for, because it was like a big case, or when we wanted Tete or got him, like we couldn't get him for free transfer, but it was war in Ukraine, and yeah, things like that. But we got it for free transfer, but it was always in our mind that we could get like fine for it. But now it was 1 million euros, and we already got paid 7 million euros. So in the end, we got a 6 million profit from Ted. And just one thing I want to say about Ederson, because it seems like we are getting closer and closer to him, and what I think is gonna be huge with him is that we got players like Barış Alper and Osimhen, who is so good behind the defense. You can just play on so many strings. I think you can play on the feet, you can play behind the defense with him, and he's just exceptional with the ball, and especially with his long balls. Again, I don't want our team to be like just playing long. I remember the Trabzon game away when Muslera played a lot of long passes, and we just keep lost the possession all the time. I hope it probably won't be like that. But if they are like locking us down, you can always use Ederson as the 11th man. You will always be 3 versus 2 with your center backs, or it will always be placed in one position because you got like the 3rd center back or the 4th center back or the first player for our first attacker, Ederson, with the ball. Again, I'm a bit unsure with this, you can call it defending, his goalkeeper skills, but again, as I said previous, I don't think he would have survived Manchester City if he had not been good in that areas either. Not that he's perfect at those areas, but he should at least be okay there. So yeah, it seems like we're getting closer and closer to him. But again, the transfer window is so dynamic, as I said earlier. So I wouldn't be surprised either if we don't get him. But he seems like a really, really exciting player for us, and not at least in the sense of not just with his feet, but being like a solid guy in our group with our South American players. I think he would suit straight into our dressing room. Okay, I think that was enough for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Again, things are still new for me. I'm still trying to develop in that sense. And Sado, thanks for tips. I will try to cover up the blank spaces where it's black spaces, for example. I will try to cover up that in the next episode. And follow me on Twitter, Aslan Live 10. And please subscribe if you like this. And I hope to see you soon.